Question 2b. In each of the following hyperbolas centered at the origin, find the hyperbola's standard form equation from the given information. For 1, we are given the foci as 0, plus or minus the root of 2. We are also given the asymptote equation, that is y is equal to plus or minus x. So this hyperbola, for the foci to be 0, plus or minus the root of 2, it means that it's on the y-axis. On the y-axis, the formula for the asymptotes is plus or minus a over b x. That is on the y-axis. Yes. So this means that a over b is equal to 1. Simply telling us that a is equal to b. That's the first thing that we have there. Then the asymptote, the foci is 0, plus or minus c. So this means that c is equal to the root of 2. And so c squared is going to be root 2 squared, which is equal to positive 2. Now for the hyperbola, we know that c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. But because a is equal to b, so we'll have a squared plus a squared, which is 2 a squared is equal to c squared. But c squared is 2, so we'll have 2 is equal to 2 a squared divided by 2 divided by 2. So we'll get a squared is equal to 1, simply telling us that a is 1, and so b is 1. Because we already know the center, then we'll say the equation therefore is going to be y squared over 1 minus, because when you square the a there, minus x squared over 1 is equal to 1, which we then write as y squared minus x squared is equal to 1. But if I didn't know the equation of the asymptote, then it becomes so tricky for us to arrive at a correct solution here. And if you don't know the equation of the foci, then you're in serious problems. Then 3 were given the vertices. We're given the vertices to be plus or minus 3, 0. But we know at the vertices, it's plus or minus a, 0 if it's centered at the origin. So this is telling us that a is equal to 3. So a squared is equal to 9. So far, and we know this is on the x-axis for the vertices to go on the x-axis. So far, we have x squared over 9 minus y squared over, that's what you're looking for now. So where do we get b? We are told that the asymptotes y is equal to plus or minus 4 over 3 x. Now, because it's on the x-axis, we get the equation of the asymptote to be plus or minus b over a x. This simply tells us that b over a is equal to 4 over 3. So if we cross multiply, we'll have 3b is equal to 4a. But a is known, a is 3. So we'll have 3b is equal to 4 by 3. So when we divide by 3, we get b is equal to 4. So that b squared then becomes 16 is equal to 1. And this is our equation. Okay. Then question 3. We are given an equation on question 3D. An equation y squared minus, okay, now I want the one for the hyperbola. So D4, we are given x squared minus y squared plus 4x minus 6y is equal to 6. This, you first complete the square. So for each variable, so x squared plus 4x, we put together here, this guy minus y squared plus 6y is equal to 6. So here we complete the square for x squared plus 4x. We'll get x squared plus 4x plus, you get the half of 4, which is 2, square it and subtract this square. And then minus, you do the same to y squared plus 6y. You add the half, which is 3 squared, subtract the half, which is 3 squared, and then is equal to 6. Then now we get.
When we find the half of 4 and there 6, there will be no need of us putting the other side the x and the other side y.
We'll split when you, in the next step, you see how the other guys are going the other side.
All right.
So now we're picking this x, pick the plus, then pick the 2, have it squared, and then minus 4. This one has been squared. Then we can cover for now, minus y plus 3 squared minus 9 is equal to 6. Then now we open. So we have x plus 2 squared minus y plus 3 squared so this minus 4 is now here, and then negative times negative 9, we get positive 9 is equal to 6. So now we take the other numbers the other side. So say x plus 2 squared minus y plus 3 squared is equal to negative 4 plus 9. We get positive 5. Then we take it the other side as a negative. So we have x plus 2 squared minus y plus 3 squared is equal to positive 1. Just ended up being a standard equation without us having to divide. There. So when that happened, what next? We can even talk about a sketch of this, because we have everything here. We have the center, negative 2, comma negative 3. Then we have a squared being 1, which implies that a is 1. We have b squared being 1, implying that b is 1. And so c squared is going to be a squared plus b squared, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. So that c is plus or minus a root of 2. And then we now get the foci. We can start with the vertices. The vertices, it is on the x-axis and it has been shifted. The vertices is h plus or minus a comma k. Now in this case, we'll have h, that is -2, plus or minus a, which is 1, comma k, which is -3. Simply telling us that what we have here is -3, comma -3, or we have -1, comma -3. These two. Then foci.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello.
I was expecting to have a positive 4 since we've squared the -2. But how come we still have -4?
So we only squared the 2 and the negative was spared from the square.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just remember
I
that.
hear you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So this is the coordinates for the vertices. So you can even be sketching as you find your coordinates, so that we don't. Okay, so we have -1, comma -3, -1, comma -3 here. Then we also have -3, -3, comma -3. Another one here. The vertices. Now, if you are so detailed in solving, what you do is, for you to sketch this, you may obviously need to find the x-intercepts if they're there. So if y is 0, what we'll have is x squared plus, or let's use the factorized one. So we'll have x plus 2 squared is equal to, if y is 0, this will be 1 plus 9, which is equal to 10. Then when you square root, we will get x plus 2 is equal to the plus or minus root of 10. So that x is -2 plus or minus root 10. So as you sketch on the left, this is going to go, let me use a different color here for some test the other part. This is going to go this way. So it will go down. So at least you know this point. This point is going to be -2 minus root 10. Then again, when you sketch on the right, we get negative. So it will touch now, you know, starting after the 0. So this is -2 plus the root of 10, like that. So there's no harm in also knowing this value if you so wish. Or you can just leave it like that, unknown. And then, but if the question specifies indicating all the intercepts, it's an easy case. You just make x 0 on the y-axis, then you get the y values. Then, what do we need now? We need to know the foci. So the foci, we have the equation again. The foci is given by h plus or minus c, comma k, but we have our h -2 plus or minus the root of 2, comma -3. So what we have is on -3. So we have negative root 2. I mean -2 plus root 2. Root 2 is a bit bigger than 1, so this number is negative. So it's sitting somewhere here as a foci, and the other one will sit somewhere here as a foci. Not that far from. Okay, so.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello.
Where did you get that 9? How did you come up with square root of 10?
When we make y 0 in this equation, then we'll have x plus 2 squared minus 0 plus 3 squared is equal to 1. So this is just 3. Then 3 squared is 9. Then we take it the other side, it will go as a positive number. Is it okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay. So our foci is, we have this foci here that we want to name as -2 minus 2 minus root 2 comma -3. And on the right, this foci here is -2 plus the root of 2 comma -3. And then the center, say -2, so -2 comma -3. This is the center. So now the asymptotes will have y is equal to, on the x-axis, b goes up over ax, so it is plus or minus. Remember, there's a shift here. So when there's a shift, we have x minus h plus k, meaning that we have our b is 1 and our a is 1. So we're just having plus or minus x minus. So because our h is minus, so here we're going to have plus 2 and then minus 3, which will give us the plus or minus. So now they need to be separated here. So if we go for the plus 1, we'll get that y is equal to x plus 2 minus 3, which is equal to x minus 1. That is the positive one, the one that cuts this one. So when y is 0, we'll get x is equal to 1. So this guy is supposed to cut on the right. It's supposed to cut on the right. So we need to be a bit careful there. So a bit careful. Because this is y is equal to x minus 1 as our equation. So when y is 0 on the x-axis, x is going to be 1. So our curve, maybe I put it in this. So our line touching the origin has to bend. So the straight line, so it will cut there. Okay. And then the other one, we solve for it. So when x now is, when we get the negative, so we're going to have y is equal to negative x plus 2 minus 3. This is negative x minus 2 minus 3, which is negative x minus 5. So when x is 0 on the y-axis, this guy is going to cut down here. So it's coming this, when y is 0, we get negative 5. So this guy is touching somewhere here. Okay, it's better coming from here. Goes like this, and it comes like this. Where y is touching, it's negative 5. So if you answer for the y, this should be 1. When x is 0, I mean -1. When x is 0. So you can know all the intercepts because the equations that you have are just normal equations. So this equation is y is equal to x minus 1. And for this line here, it's y is equal to -x minus 5. That's how detailed this question can be. So when they say discuss, and the good part is that these questions will always be there in assessments. They're very good questions. An exam, you can't just walk out of that exam without having this question. So they bring
It's book is a
bit. It just needs a bit of some speed when you're answering such a question. So you can also name the vertex here because we know the vertices. So this is -3, comma -3, and then this other one is -1, comma -3. Okay. So I want us to do one on the rotation. Xy is equal to 2. Question 5b. Question 5b. B1. Xy is equal to 2. We're doing a rotation here. So we got the rotation equations. So we said we have x is equal to x prime cos theta minus y prime sine theta, and then y is equal to x prime sine theta plus y prime cos theta. So what is key here is to get theta. So what will be theta? If we use cot 2 theta, we must have a minus c over b. Now a in this case, a is 0, b is 1, and c is 0. So we get a minus c to be 0 there, over 1, giving us 0. So when is cot 2 theta 0? So when is cot 0? Remember, cot is the same as cos over sine. So when cos is 0 at 90, so 2 theta is equal to 90, divide by 2, we get theta to be 45. So what is cos 45? Cos 45 is equal to the root of 2 over 2. The good part is that it's equal to sine 45, which is also root 2 over 2. So this is what we have. So we substitute. So now our equations are x is equal to root 2 over 2 x prime minus root 2 over 2 y prime, and y is equal to root 2 over 2 x prime plus root 2 over 2 y prime. Then you go to the equation. The equation is xy is equal to 2. So multiply the root of 2 over 2. These guys can be factored out, so that we just have x prime minus y prime, and then multiplied by the root of 2 over 2. Again, factor out, you have x prime plus y prime is equal to positive 2. So root 2 by root 2, if you multiply these here, we'll get 2 over 4. And then we'll have x prime minus y prime, x prime plus y prime is equal to 2. So if you push this guy the other side, the 1 over 4 which is 1 over, the 2 over 4, which is 1 over 2. If we push to the other side, we remain with the difference of squares on the left, this one multiplied by this one, which is x prime squared minus y prime squared, giving us 4. Because now I've multiplied throughout by 2. Remember, this guy here is 1 over 2. So multiplied by 2, remain the difference of squares on the left, and you get x prime squared minus y prime squared is equal to 4. So that in standard form, you divide, you divide, you divide. So we're getting x prime squared over 4 minus y prime squared over 4 is equal to 1. So we have found the standard equation. And it's a hyperbola. So if it's an hyperbola, then what do we need? So a squared is 4. So a is 2. B squared is 4. So b is 2. So c squared is going to be a squared plus b squared, which is 4 plus 4, which is 8. So c will be plus or minus the root of 8, which is 2 root 2. Then we can have the sketch of this guy. When we say discuss, you discuss it fully. Then we'll have a sketch. So the sketch, this guy is centered at the origin. So if I name, now we have done a shift here. We've done a shift. This has gone by 45, but we can assume that we are now redrawing that shifted thing, and this becomes our x prime, and this one our y prime. So when we do that, it means that we've now gone beyond the, we've ignored the shift in our sketch, but because we're using x prime, y prime, it means that we have done the shift. If the question says draw on the same, put your sketch on the xy plane, then you would have shown that, oh, I'm doing a shift here. So you draw your graph on the shifted, on the rotated axis. But this one was just an open question, which is a good one. So you can choose to place it anywhere. So rotate the axis to change the given equation into an equation that has no cross product xy. Identify the conic and sketch. So I've sketched on the x prime, y prime. So I don't have to use the other one. So use it in the next equation. Okay. Then we've said that A, so this guy is sitting on the x-axis again. So on the x prime axis. So A is 2. So 2 negative 2. So this goes this way, comes this way, and this goes this way, comes this way. And then 0, 0. Then this is 2. I can sit there, and then negative 2. Then the fourth side that is C. So we have 2 root 2, and we have negative 2 root 2. Then the asymptote. So the asymptote, these guys are going to pass through this. And also here. So we have the equations. Y is equal to plus or minus, because it's on the x, that is b over a x prime. So this is y prime is equal to plus or minus b over a x prime, because our coordinates now, our axis now is x prime y prime, not xy plane. So using the x prime y prime plane, so we'll have plus or minus b over ax prime. So b is known. So what is b? B is 2 and a is 2. So this is just plus or minus 2 over 2 x prime, which is plus or minus x prime as our y prime. So this is these are the equations. So when you come here, just name. This is y is equal to x, and this is y prime. I mean is equal to x prime. Then here, this is y prime is equal to negative x prime. So these are our equations for the asymptotes. Any questions? Okay, so since you have no questions, in the run out of time, so end here. Tomorrow, I think we'll finalize this sheet. So just look at the parts that haven't been tackled here, and also look at the polar equations. Then we'll be done with topic 1, and then we'll pick questions now in general, like the one that came yesterday. If we finish early, then we'll be able now to go outside the tuition and answer any queries that we have around the topic 1. I would appreciate if you also inbox the questions that you feel needs to be attended to on topic 1 before the session, so that the flow is not disturbed. Okay, so tomorrow I may start restricting. So those who are seriously interested in this journey, please do register as agreed. You will have a good night.